What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're doing a live stream where I'm answering all your fantasy football questions and going over the NFL news that's relevant to fantasy football. As you guys know, it's week 14. It's crunch time. We're trying to lock up a playoff seed, trying to make playoffs, or for some of us, trying to ruin someone else's season. If it's your first time on this channel or you're watching the replay, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got the bell notifications turned on so you don't miss future videos. I want to say what's up to X Pure Platinum. Ozai, what's up, my friend? What's going on? Let me share my screen here. Okay. There we go. Eric, what's up, man? There we are. How we feeling about starting Saquon? Very important to know what time all these guys play. Saquon Barkley plays early. So if he's active, we're starting him. And that's that. Matt Breida is a good backup. He's kind of a guy that I already had though. Like, I don't know if you want to pick him up now. Like, let me see if he's available in our Throne League. Oh, he's not. It's kind of a guy that I've already stashed. Like I have Saquon in a dynasty league. I have Matt Breida. I've been having Matt Breida for 3 months. What's up, Albert? CC in the building. What's up, man? When did you match up against your dad? Who won that one? Who won the matchup between number 1 and number 2 in your Yahoo League? This one's not about Jalen Warren. It's more so that, like I said, what was it on last night's podcast? It was last night's podcast, or I forget what it was. I think it was last night's live stream slash podcast. You're going to be guessing wrong on the Seahawks running back. The odds are against you. It's even harder to guess just for this week who the Seahawks running back is going to be, the fantasy relevant running back. It's even harder to do that than to guess who the Niners running back is going to be traditionally. So I would not play the Seahawks running back game. What you need to do is tap out of this game and go find another game to play, because this is a game. This is a risky Russian roulette game. It's a game where you're probably not going to win, and even when you win, you'll probably lose. It could be some kind of committee. There could be some kind of injury. Matchup is solid. We liked him, but I just don't see Homer being a workhorse. I don't see DJ Dallas being a workhorse. And we'll go over the news. It's even messier than I thought. All 4 running backs could be active tomorrow, possibly. Oh, you lost by 3. Well, I must say that that's good. I mean, you're in second place. You're Couch Fam. You're a member. And the team I drafted for is locked up. What is he? 11-2. Wow. Basically a flawless team. Rashad White. I guess we'll just go into the news, as every question is going to rely on the news, and that's going to be up to if Fournette is active. So there's a serious question mark with Fournette this week. Tough matchup for Rashad White. He's going to need all the snaps he can get to do anything to put a dent in the fantasy points going up against the Niners D. Yeah, we're going to have to raise Hollywood's rankings. Rondell Moore is out. Yeah, Hollywood needs to go up. DeAndre Hopkins or DK Metcalf full PPR. Go with Hopkins. You're in a situation that's great. I mean, a lot of people don't have this type of firepower where I guess both are low end wide receiver ones. Like both are great starts. Kind of like top 10, top 12, top 15 around that mark. Like can't really go wrong either way. Just me, like I'm never benching DeAndre Hopkins. What has he had one game that wasn't incredible this year so far? He's even done well with the backup quarterback with Colt McCoy. There's just no way I'm benching Hopkins. That's more about what it is. It's not that DK sucks. DK's amazing. He'll probably get you 14, 15 fantasy points, and Hopkins will probably get you like 16. Yeah, we're going to go over the news in a second. Yeah, you should be worried about Saquon. I think he'll play. I think he'll be fine, but he's far from 100%. So you definitely need to keep tabs on that. It's for us, this is a no-brainer. This is just it's out of our control. If Saquon is active, we start him. If he's not, we can start Matt Breida. And that's it. There's nothing else you can do about this. We're not worried about it. Gino or Dak? This is a good question. I like this. And I'm gonna go with Geno Smith here. We're looking at a closer game. We're looking at banged up running backs. And for Dak, we're looking at a game where Dak will get his. I love the floor with Dak. He's going to get his. He's going to do great. It's an easy choice. It's a layup for Dak Prescott going against the Texans. But in the fourth quarter, he's not even going to be in the game. He's not even going to be throwing touchdowns. So although Dak will probably score 3 touchdowns, and that's amazing. Like we would start that 100% of the time. Our other option is Geno Smith with a banged up running back core who's playing really well and is going to have to throw the ball in the fourth quarter. I don't know what else he'll be doing. The running backs you guys are asking about for the Seattle are pass catching running backs too. So a lot of like if a running back is in there, which I don't know who it's going to be or what's going to happen. I'm just saying there's a good chance that running back that's going to be lined up behind or to the side of Geno Smith is a pass catching running back like a DJ Dallas or a Travis Homer. Or if it's let's say Tony Jones, who I don't think's ideal pass catcher, he's not an amazing runner either. So it's like it's going to be Geno Smith throwing the ball to Lockett, throwing to DK, throwing to Fant, and one other magical receiver, whether it be Disley or wide receiver 3 or a running back. So I'm going with Geno Smith in a closer game. Geno's good to go. I think you're spelling something wrong. Are you saying Evan Ingram? I guess go with Evan Ingram. You're gonna bench Samaje Perine because Mixon's good to go, and he's going to be the de facto running back, the one of one, the workhorse. Um, you're gonna go ahead and start Jeff Wilson over Jamal Williams. You're gonna trust me on this one. We're gonna make it work. Jamal Williams is a decent start this week, maybe good start, but not a great one. Very touchdown reliant. I like Jamal Williams, but he's a guy who's going to get you 8 to 12 fantasy points. Start Jeff Wilson for sure. Jeff Wilson's going to have a big bounce back game, It's not easy going against the 49ers. Put it like that. His matchup this week, night and day, much easier. All right, let's go through the news because a lot of these questions are related to the news. Look, can we do this? Ooh, a little different, huh? A little different. Okay. A little different. A little different here. All right. There we go. All right, guys, let's do the NFL fantasy football news. Today is Friday, December 9th. All right. So, starting off with the Seattle backfield and the Seahawks team, we got Ken Walker and DJ Dallas are both game time decisions. This is relatively good news. Don't know what's going to happen though there. Also, keep in mind that the Seahawks kick off in the second wave of games. So, this risky running back roulette game you guys are debating on playing gets more risky because they do not kick off early, they kick off much later. So, watch out. If you're planning on starting a running back, you're gonna need an emergency. Like, there's just no way, no good way around this. The only thing I like is like, yeah, I mean, just know that it's risky. Just know that you need other options, like, let's say Pacheco or McKinnon or Latavius Murray or someone, someone playing later, or Raheem Mostert. If you're thinking about starting a Seahawks running back, try to put them at flex. Prepare yourself. Be ready for this. Know what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it's risky. You're going to probably guess wrong. And also, they kick off later. If Ken Walker is your only option, and that's what you do, you either start him in the RB2 slot or the flex spot. And then, okay, something happens, you got at least a backup option. All right, have option. I don't want you guys taking a zero. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't want you guys going out your way to start a Seahawks running back to think you guys found the ultimate spot start, the ultimate handcuff that's going to get you 30 points. It's probably not going to happen. I'm just being realistic out there. People this week are going to start a Seahawks running back that's going to get 0 points. People this week will start a Seahawks running back that's going to give them 5.1 or 5.2 fantasy points. It's going to happen. I'm just giving you all the information you need to know to be prepared for that. Travis Homer and Tony Jones, both good to go. Both will play. Both have been practicing. All right, so we got potentially all four running backs could suit up for the Seahawks. DK Metcalf is good to go. No worries there for him. Now, Nick Bosa did not practice Friday today. He didn't practice this week, and he is questionable with a hamstring. My gut is saying he's going to play, and they're just managing. Is like, I mean, why would you practice this amazing player? Why not just save him for Sunday? But that's just my guess. He is legitimately questionable and may not play against the Buccaneers. That game is also in the second wave of games Sunday, so keep that in mind. Brandon Cooks is out for the Texans. His other wide receiver buddy, Nico Collins, also out for the Texans. And rookie cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. also out for the Texans. So Cowboys defense should score about 1 million fantasy points. We like Zeke. We like Tony Pollard. Dak Prescott, top 10 quarterback this week. Maybe not the most upside, but he will be solid. He'll probably throw 3 touchdowns. We like Dak Prescott this week. All right, so Corey Linsley, Charger center, cleared concussion protocol. He's good to go. Mike Williams, no injury designation. Boom, he is back. But on the defensive side, Derwin James is doubtful. Also, Bryce Callahan, the cornerback, is doubtful, so they're not going to play. And A little bit deeper news, tight end Donald Parham is started the 21-day window. He is designated to return from IR. Now, more bad news for the Patriots. Damian Harris and Jacoby Myers did not practice today. I don't think they're going to play this week. That's just what it's looking like. Or people have told me Jacoby Myers is going to play, but will be limited. Regardless, he's not really trustworthy. I would start Hunter Henry in deeper leagues, or if I'm desperate for a tight end, Hunter Henry is a cool sleeper start against the Cardinals. I like that. And Ramondre Stevenson is an absolute stud, top 5 running back, must start this week. Other than those two guys, I'm not really excited about starting any Patriots. I might be starting Mac Jones in a super flex league because I have to. More news, DeAndre Hopkins illness is done. He's not ill anymore. He's good to go. Rondell Moore did not practice. He's looking very unlikely to play this week. Now, Trevor Lawrence and Zay Jones are both questionable. And I'm going to look up, let's look up Zay Jones. I don't have much info on him. Let's see if we can see if there's any more info on that. So Trevor Lawrence is fully expected to play. I'd be shocked if he doesn't play. Zay Jones, I'm guessing he's going to play, but we're looking at information here for that. Zay Jones' chest is questionable for Jags week 14 against the Titans. Zay got in limited practices all week. He has a Sunday rule out on his resume this year from a questionable tag in week 4. And he also has played off the questionable tag in week 5. If he plays, Jones will be okay. And that's today. So he's truly questionable. My guess is he plays. But T-Law is expected to play. So Trevor Lawrence should play. Darrell Henderson got fired again. So the Jaguars just waived running back Darrell Henderson. They just signed him like 2 or 3 weeks ago when the Rams cut him. And now the Jaguars cut him. So Travis Etienne, although has been a little bit disappointing, whether you like it or not, this guy can catch passes, and he is the workhorse running back for the Jaguars. He's going to get 80, 90% of the snaps. We love Travis Etienne. The matchup's not great, but it's all about opportunity. So he's got the talent. He's got the opportunity. Hopefully he's more healthy this week than he was and recently, and he can catch passes. So we like that. I think Travis Etienne's a solid start. I know people are worried about that. Kadarius Toney is truly questionable. He's technically a game time decision. Cortland Sutton is out. Jerry Jeudy gets a boost. Greg Dulcich gets a huge boost. He's a top 5 tight end this week. T. Higgins is good to go. Hayden Hurst has been ruled out. And whoever the tight end is for the Bengals, his name is like Wilcox or something. Don't think about starting him. Don't be silly. Don't do that. Go ahead. I'd rather like Tyler Boyd's a decent start. Higgins is a good start. Chase is a great start. I'm down with starting all 3 of those wide receivers. Don't start whoever the tight end is for the Bengals. Wilcox, I think. Tua is good to go. Shouldn't be hindered by any injury or any tag or anything like that. He's fully ready, good to go. Tyreek Hill had an illness, but he is good to go. Lamar Jackson's not going to play. Tyler Huntley is going to start. Just to be technical, Lamar Jackson is doubtful. Treylon Burks has a concussion, and we all know what happens now after the Tua concussion gate, whatever happened. Concussions have you out even longer nowadays. So Treylon Burks is ruled out this week with a concussion. And Saquon Barkley, the one we've been looking at very closely here, Saquon Barkley has a neck injury, limited participation in practice today. Now, he is questionable. Again, why worry about this? Is in like it's out of our control. If he's playing, you play him. If he's not playing, Matt Breida is an RB2. And that's the end of the story. There's nothing else we're going to do. There's nothing else we're going to worry about. I'm telling you, he's probably going to play. And that's it. That's all you need to know. That's all there is to know. And that's the only thing that's in our hands right now. The only decision you can make is if Matt Breida is available in your league, you can add him as a handcuff. That's it. There's really nothing there. TJ Watt and Deontay Johnson are both questionable. Now, they both did practice at limited today, but don't know much about TJ Watt. My guess is he's going to play. Deontay Johnson, I'm pretty confident that he is going to play. I would say more like he's probable. Remember the probable tag? They just got rid of that. So I would say that Deontay Johnson is probable. That would be a better assessment than questionable. Amari Cooper injured his hip yesterday. He's questionable, but he says he's okay and he expects to play. So hopefully it's like a bruise or something like that, and it's just something that's painful, and he'll, with a couple days of rest, he should be good to go. Now, D'Onta Foreman, he is good to go, and he is a great start this week against the Seahawks. I like him. Fournette is a tricky one here. Very tricky if you have Rachaad White or Fournette. Now, he had a sore foot yesterday, did not practice today. So all that's telling me is that Rachaad White's going to get even more snaps. So expect Rachaad White to get 60% or more snaps. And there's a small chance that Fournette is out, or maybe he's a decoy, or what do you call emergency back or something like that. So there's a good chance that Rachaad White gets a lot more snaps, and he's the starter and he's the main back. It is definitely trending that way, that Rachaad White, let's just say like 70%, 66, 70% of the snaps, just to kind of take a guess. What did Rachaad White, was it 40% last week, I believe, for Rachaad White? Fournette got 60% of the snaps, and Rachaad White got 40% of the snaps. So it was a 60-40 split week 13, and it could be the other way around. Rachaad White could get 60, 70, maybe even 80% if Fournette is really injured. More news. James Washington, Mike McCarthy says James Washington is ready to go. We could see his season debut this week. So Cowboys getting healthier and the Lions getting Jameson Williams back. And yeah, that's going to do it for the news. All right, go ahead and ask your questions. I got to head out in a little while. I may not be able to hop on the Discord today. Well, I definitely won't after this live stream. Maybe later on tonight, but just a small chance that's possible. But I'm not going to be able to do that. And we have enough time to answer questions, though. What's up, Ty? Geno Smith or Kirk Cousins? I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins in a super high scoring game. There's really no wrong answer here. Geno Smith is great. Kirk Cousins is great. Dak Prescott's great. Like, these guys are all good. They're all really close. Even Jared Goff's pretty good this week. I'm rolling Kirk Cousins. Yeah. They're really close. Both should be good. I really think that both should put up around 19 fantasy points. I'm going with Kirk Cousins just because it's a higher scoring game, and that's it. I want to see more touchdowns, more big plays, and that's going to be what we're going to see in this Vikings-Lions game. Malachi, thank you so much for the super chat, Dono. That's right. That's right. Okay, let me read this. Foreman, Connor, Pierce, Miles Sanders, Swift, Ramondre, rank 1 through 6, rest of season. Okay. Full PPR. Which two would you start this week? All right, let's do the easy question. No, Geno Smith. Nah, I'm not really factoring that in, honestly. So if you were to start Geno Smith, I don't think that's a bad decision. Like I said, it's almost a tie. What's making my decision, the deciding factor in the decision is the lines. It's a 52 point over under, basically. Let's round it up versus a 45 point over under. Both should be close games. Yeah. Yeah. Gino's still a great story. All right, let's start off. We always want to do the easiest thing first. So, first one is, which two would you start this week? All right. So Ramondre is dang near the best fantasy running back this week. So we're starting Ramondre Stevenson. Like, he's basically RB1. So start Ramondre Stevenson for sure. I love Deontay Foreman, but he's just not on this type of level with the pass catching and so on and so forth. Bench Foreman, bench Damian Pierce. He's like a poor man's Ezekiel Elliott at this point. He's basically like a fullback. He's not doing anything, not catching passes. He's only going to be good in games that are close, and this will not be a close game against the Cowboys. All right, and then I love James Conner, and Miles Sanders is pretty good. But what we're going to do is Conner over Sanders. So now we got it down to 3 players, and it's really close actually between uh number one Ramondre Stevenson and James Conner and Swift. And someone's saying Swift for sure. I actually think it's much closer than that. I think it's very close between DeAndre Swift and James Conner. What might have me going Swift is purely the scoring. So I'm gonna agree with Cole, just not with the no doubt part. So I think it's actually really close. So this week, I'm gonna say number one, Ramondre Stevenson. Number two, Swift, just because it's full PPR. And number three, James Conner. I think it's actually really close, like so close that you could start James Conner, probably a little bit safer. But again, we're going Swift. It's full PPR. It's a much higher scoring game. Isn't that right? Where is the game? Look at that. 43 points over under versus 52 points over under. So that's like, well, let's be accurate here. 8 point difference in the over under. The favorite and underdog doesn't really matter. Vegas, we'll just say they have it even. So one game is going to put up 43 and a half points, and the other game is 51 and a half. So I'm going with the 51 and a half. And I'm going with the full PPR. It's splitting hairs. It's very close, but those are my 3 options. Very, very close here. For the rest of the season, I guess we rank. Actually, let's just look at these guys here. So we got Foreman, Connor. I want to look him up. James Connor. He just had his bye. Denver, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. I don't like that. So we're gonna go with Ramondre over Connor. I love Sanders. So let's go. Andre Swift, Connor, Sanders, Foreman, Pierce for the rest of the season. Would you start DPJ this week over any of these guys? Metcalf, Keenan, Cooper? No, I would not. Would you start Pacheco, Jamal Williams, Latavius Singletary, Mike Williams, or Jacoby? So it's between Mike Williams and Pacheco for me. Yeah, Pacheco's really nice. Pacheco, Jamal Williams, Latavius Murray, Singletary. Yeah, this is a close one. So I narrowed it down to Pacheco and Mike Williams. The full PPR is what's throwing me off because um yeah, let's just go Pacheco. Pacheco's safer and Mike Williams is more risky. Pacheco in this type of game should get a lot of touches. I see him being heavily involved. Heavily involved. Let's go Pacheco. Very close. If Ken Walker is out, do I start Homer, James Cook, or Pierce? Now, one thing you have to know, man, is that Ken Walker plays later. So Homer obviously plays at the same time. James Cook plays early. You might not know that. Dameon Pierce plays early. You might not know that. So the only thing that I can tell you is Dameon Pierce over James Cook. That's really all I can tell you. Like you got to know the time these guys play, and that's the most important thing. You're welcome. Travis Homer, Chuba Hunt, PPR. So again, this is another one where Travis Homer plays later. Chuba Hubbard plays at the same time. That's great. That's great. And then we have Kareem Hunt who plays early. I would just start Kareem Hunt and get it out the way. When it's close like this, why would you take so many unnecessary risks? You know you don't want to start Chuba Hubbard. I'm telling you, you don't want to start Travis Homer. I would definitely just start Kareem Hunt. Hopefully, he breaks off a big player, gets a touchdown. Because it's like, why are you risking all this stuff because you're thinking Kareem Hunt's going to get like one less fantasy point and you're taking all these unnecessary risks? You're risking like possibly losing six points in your matchup just to gain 1 point. It doesn't make any sense. So just start Kareem Hunt, get it out the way, start Kareem Hunt in the RB position because he plays early. Leave that flex open for as long as you can. I got to use the restroom really quick, guys. I'll be right back. Thoughts on Okonkwo? I'm not touching Okonkwo and Austin Hooper. It's just guys you don't really trust. I can't do it myself. I just don't see a realistic world where I'd be starting this. I mean, it would just be one of those propaganda segments. Oh, like you want a great sleeper, like blah blah blah. But how much faith do I have in him? So let's just look at the last 2 or 3 games. 5 targets, 2 targets, getting just under 50% of the snaps. Austin Hooper, 3 targets, 3 targets, 4 targets. So let's say Austin Hooper gets 4 targets and Okonkwo gets 5. And, that's okay. But I mean, I just don't see a realistic scenario where I would start one of these guys or tell you guys to start them. Like, who are your other options? Like, I would rather start Gerald Everett. I trust the quarterback more. I trust the offense more. I'd rather start Noah Fant. I'd rather start Evan Ingram. I'd rather start Hunter Henry. I'd rather start George Kittle. I'd rather start Njoku, Schultz, Hawkinson, Fryermuth, and Dolchich. Of course, Kelsey and Mark Andrews. I'd rather start Everett. Now, once after that, though, then it's pretty close. So we got guys like Tyler Conklin, Daniel Bellinger, Mike Gesicki, Jordan Akins, Brevin Jordan. And yeah, Chick Okonkwo, Austin Hooper, Mitchell Wilcox, guys like that in that range, then you would start considering that. Sit Godwin and play Hollywood. I would go with Godwin. He could. So he'll get a carry. I don't see him getting more than 5 targets. He's not a regular inline tight end. He's the athletic type. I have him in Dynasty, so like I've known about this guy. It's just not one that you're gonna rely on. So it's like I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just trying to be like, give me another tight end to start. So the question we started off with was thoughts on him. So no one's actually thinking about starting him realistically. And if you are, give me another option so I can pick from, because you're just not realistically starting him. And just to be technical about this, so what you're saying is a good point. Also, what do you think defensive coordinator is doing? Just because Treylon Burks is out, they're not game planning for Treylon Burks. They're game planning for Chick Okonkwo more than they would in the past, or if Treylon Burks was healthy. You see what I mean? So the coach is going to involve Chick Okonkwo more. Then the Jaguars are going to focus on stopping Okonkwo more. They're going to tell their guys, hey, this guy's stupid athletic. He can get a handoff. He can get a carry. He's got excellent speed. Just watch him. Watch when they put him in motion. We already know the Titans are going to call. I want to call it a trick, maybe a trick play or like some kind of creative play calling. That will happen. That. You're basically saying that now. I know that, and so does the Jaguars defense. Opportunities are great, like they're a good thing. It's just, yeah, I'm not going to start him in a normal league week 14 fantasy football. I mean, I don't even like him as a GPP dart. I really don't. Would you start Swift over Mixon or Dalvin? I would not. I'm going Mixon with that workhorse snap count and workload, I'm going Dalvin. Same reason. I trust him. You're better off starting these guys who you know are going to be workhorses than trying to be risky and start guys that like Swift, who we don't know exactly what their projections are. Pickens or Knight, go ahead and start George Pickens. Is Watson droppable for Goff? I would not drop Deshaun Watson. This is not a dumb question by any means, though. This is very close. You just got to know this. This is how fantasy football works. Jared Goff has a much higher floor. We have a lot more trust in him. He's a much safer start. Deshaun Watson, I think, is going to score more fantasy points this week, but he's very risky. He's very risky. He's a crazy start. You're being very bold. You're risking him putting up another 6 fantasy points. It's not good. So if you need a win this week and you're facing an opponent who's not just insane, just 99% of your opponents you'd face, Goff would be a smarter start. And dropping Watson for Goff, if you really want to win this week, I think is a smart decision. Especially if you lose and you don't make playoffs, then I would find a way to go get Goff and start him. And now going back to this, I didn't see this question, Goff or Watson. I would go with Goff because his floor is so much higher. The trust is so much higher. I trust the Lions offense so much more. Deshaun Watson, I would like to see him do well one game before starting him if I have that luxury, and you do have that luxury. That's the same mentality and logic I put out for DeAndre Swift last week. Look, I was technically wrong for telling everyone to bench DeAndre Swift. Most people would have benched him anyway. But let me just get that clear that I was wrong. But I also said, look, if he balls out on your bench, that's great. Now you have a great running back. He's back. And so we got at least one confirmation game that DeAndre Swift is back last week. So that was great. Yeah, it's not ideal. This guy doesn't want to drop Deshaun Watson, and Noah doesn't want him to drop Deshaun Watson. I don't want you to drop Deshaun Watson, but if it's a must-win situation and the only player you can drop somehow, I don't know why or how, if it's Deshaun Watson, then you got to do it. I think you got to start the guy with the higher floor. There's got to be another player you can drop, though. There's got to be something there. Thoughts on Gano? Not this week. Don't do it. Don't do it this week. I have a lot of other good options for you guys. Don't go with Graham Gano this week. Nothing wrong about the kicker. He'll still get his 7 fantasy points. That's fine. I just think there's much better options. What did I say in my rankings video? I think it was the top 9 or top 10. Go get one of those guys. Jeez, my website is not loading. I have to play my video. I have to play my video. All right, just some ads here. We're going to watch me watching me. Yeah, so what I was saying was try to get Michael Badgley or better. I am not supporting Graham Gano this week. Yeah. I don't like the matchup. Desmond Ritter, that's more rush yards, right? So Kenny Pickett's very limited upside. No touchdowns, not a lot of rushing stats. Like Yeah, I think you can expect very similar fantasy points from Desmond Ritter as we saw with Marcus Mariota. It's funny, right? Similar type of player, similar is the same offense basically. They might change it a little bit. So Desmond Ritter, high end QB2. You're right. I mean, you're right on point. I like this analysis. He'll put up more fantasy points than Kenny Pickett. Oh, and Willis, I mean, he's irrelevant, bro. Come on. Don't even. No, I can't do the Discord after this, unfortunately. I can drop P Ryan or Gerald Everett. My bench is Evans, Murray, Fields, Hollywood. You could drop P Ryan. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you dropping P Ryan. I think that's a great choice. I think that's a great choice. Drop P Ryan. Guys, we got P Ryan. We did our thing. Like, of course he might be able to come back in if anything were to happen to Mixon, but let's risk it. We got what we got out of P Ryan. We were on the P Ryan hype train before Mixon got hurt. We're already stashing these guys. Darius Slayton or George Pickens? This is a great question. I do like this, and I'm gonna go with George Pickens. Okay, sure. Rank live. So I do have to run in a couple. Oh, I gotta run like right now. Shoot, I didn't even know. Yeah, I gotta run. All right. Even as a Mixon owner. Okay, that's pretty risky, but yeah, I could still drop P Ryan. You'd have 4 quarterbacks. I like hoarding quarterbacks. You could drop Gerald Everett. It depends. It really depends. You could drop Everett. You could drop P Ryan. Yeah, I like taking that risk. I like being risky. Yeah, you can drop Everett. There we go. I'm ranking him fairly low. Yeah, just don't have a lot of faith in Hollywood. Wide receiver 29. All right, guys, I got to head out. Judy Pickens, Palmer, pick 2. Go ahead and bench Palmer, Rashad White, or Travis Homer. Look, Tony Jones is still healthy, so I'm leaning Rashad White here. You're welcome, man. Good luck this week. Should I drop Gus Bus for Breida just in case Barkley neck injury is serious? Yeah, if you're benching Gus Bus, then yes, do it now. If you're not benching Gus Bus, well, I feel sorry for you. You're gonna lose anyway. But you can push this. You can wait this out till 90 minutes before the game. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins is coming back. You're not starting Gus Bus, and I'd love for my opponent to start Gus Bus. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. No Discord. Foreman or Rashad White. All right, last one. Start Dante Foreman. All right, guys, I'm out. Good luck this week. No Discord tonight.